right, welcome aboard again. Now we are on the second session of our anti-gender-based violence and femicide strategy, where we are trying to ensure that we eradicate gender-based violence in our communities. So it calls for each and every one of us, be it you're a mother, you're a father, mkhulu, gogo, anyone who can speak and observe gender-based violence in your community, in your area, report, talk about it, let's kill it. So now on our second session, and Tate Malisela, remember sithe sizokwenza manje ama-interviews so that sizokuzwa ukuthi what is happening to our boys, what are they encountering along the journey, and so that we try to nip it in the bud at this stage, so that their spirits, their souls, their minds, their hearts will be clean in terms of anger or any other disease that triggers gender-based violence. Be it maybe they've got girlfriends or what, we must know, so that we assist them with how to handle these relationships. Because when we are saying as parents, let's not talk about those things, which means we're shooting ourselves on our feet. About these kids, they're doing it. So rather, let's talk about it and engage and advise them accordingly what to do when they find themselves in such exposure. Over to you, Tate Malisela.
Thank you, Ma'am Vumile. Guys, I want us to be open enough and try to speak out the truth if need be. And then if you are having challenges, you are also welcome to state your challenges, so that we together we are able to craft a way out of the challenge that you are facing. So as we all know, through media, social media, through print media, through television, we every day, every hour, a woman is killed. And currently, if you look at the age average, young people are involved in those killings. So I want to know from one of you who can narrate or give a picture of what he encountered, either in a relationship, your current relationship that you are having with a girlfriend, or someone whom you know who's closer to you. And how did you react it, and what is it that you have done to assist that particular person? Any volunteer?
Anyone?
So you're asking if...
What's your name, baby?
Oh, okay. Okay, hi, my name is Minete Zwane, and yeah, I'm part of the family. So you're asking, Uguti, have we encountered with, do we know someone who has been a victim of GBV? No, you're asking if we have been victims.
Or you are a perpetrator. Whichever way, just tell us whatever that is in your mind around whatever that we've discussed.
Or simply the understanding around issues of gender-based violence. What is it that you understand, and how is it affecting you as an individual? And then what is it that you need, you think can assist to correct the situation?
Okay, well, I think gender-based violence is self-explanatory. It's a violation of a certain gender, either being male or female, or even the trans, the bi, and the pride community, and it doesn't necessarily specify on one specific violation. It could be a violation of your rights. Like, whenever she says no, she has a right to say no. You can't violate her rights whenever she has made a decision. So I feel like even not not even like you don't have to hit her or hit someone and then that's violence. No, just violating ukuthi if I say no and it's either you get angry or you act up on me or you do certain things but not specifically
to be physical,
yeah. I feel like that's also a violation. It's more like a harassment and I feel like it has affected our communities, our friends, our families, and it's a very big issue, and we need to. There's no really clear solution as to how to fix or manage gender-based violence, but with time and with unity within the community and the country, I think we can limit or decrease the percentage of gender-based violence in South Africa and even globally. So yeah, that's all I understand with GBV for now. Yeah.
Okay. Can I come in there, Dade Malisela?
Okay.
Immediately, you were too broad. And thank you very much for your insight, because the question was, what do you understand? Have you ever seen somebody committing such, or yourself? Have you ever hit a girl or your girlfriend or whatever? And tell us, in your own, and be honest, if your person is doing something wrong to you, how do you feel? Definitely you'll be angry as a human being. So what more does it come to your mind when your girlfriend or your friend or whoever closer to you makes you angry? What is it that comes to your mind? I feel like I can hit this woman, or I can hit this man or this person. It's just that I can't. What is it, to be honest? How do you feel when you are angry? Because I know you as a child who's always quiet.
I mean, I don't really act much. I just like if I see this situation or this thing is making me angry, it's either I walk away or I keep quiet, because if I continue talking, it's either I'm gonna lash out vulgar words or just say mean things to that person who has upset me. So my solution is, no matter how hectic the situation is, I try my best to calm down, which is why I choose to leave the room or just keep quiet until the person also has calmed down, maybe has came back to their senses. Then we talk about it and try and find a solution on how to maneuver. But yeah, I haven't been that angry where I just think of fighting.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you. The other question, Melissa, I'm giving you now. Okay. The other question, if you can find your girlfriend cheating on you, how can you behave?
So
that is an honest answer. You quit. If you love her so much that because there are maybe there are people who can say, I don't even mind. The one that you love. How can you act?
Yeah, it happens. But also, I feel like sometimes with me, I feel like time is value. So by that, I'm saying, if we've been in a relationship for like maybe 5 years, let me say 5 years, and I find her cheating with a guy she just met 2 weeks ago, I definitely won't let it go just because of that 2 weeks in Yan.
Okay.
Because I've been with you for 5 years. Man, you saw the 5 years, it 2 weeks.
Okay.
So how are you going to maneuver around?
Yeah, I'll try and speak, or try to find a way, or with it's either we part ways, I don't want to say on good terms, but we part ways in jail with us, politely and very gentle. If
It's
that's
just
the
that
way.
with you, somehow I believe what you are saying because I know you as my child, but I can't rely on that. That is why I brought a guest speaker, a male figure to talk to you about, but your behavior and your personality, your character as well, somehow I trust you. Over to you, Tete Malisela. Sorry.
Okay. If for instance you are involved in, and now I'm talking to everyone.
Okay.
If you are involved in a relationship, and an intimate one, and you then go to a room with this woman, what will be the first thing that you are going to do as a man when you arrive there?
To find out.
The reason why I'm asking this question, most of us, we tend to infringe the rights of women. The moment we arrive in the bedroom, we start to hit, whether she consent or not. And if it happens that she doesn't allow you to have sexual intercourse, that means she doesn't give you a consent to have sexual intercourse with her, and it's illegal. You will be arrested. Those are some of the things that we as men, we tend to ignore or turn a blind eye on. Going with her to the room, it doesn't mean you are going to have sex with her. So the first thing that you are going to do is to engage each other, to check whether this person is ready or not. If she's not ready, you must accept that this woman is not ready. Don't force yourself to her, because if you do that, it's rape. Even if she is your girlfriend, or even if you are in an official relationship, you do that. They call it legally, they term it spousal rape. She can go and open a case against you. So it is very, very important to get a consent to each and every action that you are going to, even to kiss. You must get consent. Permission.
Can I ask something, Tete Malisela, still on that one? So how do you gauge or ascertain? Because sometimes you will find that these two parties or partners agreed. All of a sudden, a woman claims I was raped, but she accepted. How do you understand what I mean?
Yes, I do.
So, how can one prove which no, you accepted this behavior or you accepted this, but now you are changing the ball coast now, which means I raped you. How can I prove to court which she accepted, she agreed? I didn't force myself to her.
Recently, there are 2 cases in South Africa whereby the other one, yes, the male person was found guilty. And then this other one, which was controversial, she was found guilty at the first place, and then he then made an appeal. When it arrives at the High Court, then the judge then said, looking at
the presentation,
not necessarily the presentation, the way or actions that happened prior the 2 being in one room. The explanation was they were sitting on the couch, then things started to heat up, start to touch each other. At the end of the day, they then started to undress. Each one undress, and then they then have sex. Later, the following day, this woman then said, no, you have raped me. And then she then opened a case, but when it arrives at High Court, the judge then said, based on these conditions,
technicalities,
you agreed in the first place to go with this person into his family's house. The parents were there, they saw this woman. But then, at the end, she then claimed that I was raped. Remember, rape is a forceful penetration of a woman's sexual part. Right? But there was no physical elements that shows that they were fighting to have sex. But we cannot bench on that as men. We must at all times have consent of a female partner to have sexual intercourse.
Is that clear, boys?
Even just we are having a cleavage harassment. Cleavage harassment is when you look at a woman and you focus on her cleavage. It's illegal. Automatically it says you have undressed that woman. You picture yourself doing something with that woman. So it will start like that. At the end of the day, you then do the actual act of forcing yourself to this woman.
Is that clear, boys?
So those are some of the elements Jedi cause gender-based violence. And at the end of the day, if Arana, what we'll do is either you force yourself to her or violate her rights.
Okay. Thank you very much for that submission. Boys, I just want to say I'm happy, or maybe before that I'm happy. Do you feel you were assisted by this session? They are going to speak well. Tobel, tell us, when I saw your girlfriend, you came with your girlfriend to my house, you introduced her to me, then yes. Tell us, what is happening?
According to my point of view, I think gender-based violence comes a long way.
Okay.
Like, I feel like it starts where you as a man, you think you have the upper hand. I'm not sure if I'm making sense. Like, in the olden days, we all know that men were mostly the one who were known to make decisions. Then the woman would have to follow either way. So I think we should also change our mindsets as men. It's a 50-50. It's not like if I say I want to sleep with you, now you have to agree because I said so. So I'm not sure if I'm making sense, but then yeah, I think we must also change our mindset as men that we are equal as human beings.
If you can find your girlfriend, like same question, find we are cheater. What can you do? In terms of, we want to see your emotions. How can you feel? Obviously, you'll be angry. So when we are angry, what comes to your mind?
Like,
be honest.
When it comes to me, because the reason why we're in this situation at the first place is because I found her with another man. So, in order for her to feel the same pain, I'll also do the same. Is it like, I wouldn't leave her and say I'm done with you. Hey.
She must feel it.
She must feel it. I'll also go to another care.
This is how you are going to behave.
This is how I deal with it.
Oh, you deal with it like that.
Then it becomes toxic, which will lead to a violent behavior. Because remember, that's revenge. And revenge on its own builds
But I love your honest answer.
Builds up anger and frustration. And that leads sometimes in other young men, sometimes it leads to suicide. I'm not going to leave her. I would rather kill myself.
God forbid.
If you check statistically, especially in Gauteng, currently we are having a high rise of young men killing themselves, committing suicide, because of the relationships they found themselves in, the toxic relationships. If, for instance, a girl doesn't want you anymore, because I think we are experiencing all the time. But basically, we should wait for the right moment, go through a passage of right. Passage of right is you then have, before relationships, you start as a child, you become a boy, you become an adult, and then you become an elder. So all these stages, you must pass through them. You cannot be a father while you are still a boy. And once you indulge into sexual activities at an early stage, chances are you might have a child. And who's going to take responsibility of ensuring that that child is maintained? Yes, government
social grants,
condom or social grants, those doesn't help in terms of how we should relate to each other as human beings, especially on the part of men. Going through a right of the path of right is for you to understand the levels of life, how you should react in terms of situations, difficult situations. How do you move out of those difficult situations? For example, in our traditional way, we are having traditional initiation schools by then. Now, yes, we are claiming we are having those things. They are not there. When you reach a particular age, 14, between 14 and 16, they then take you and introduce you to the traditional leader, and then they give you the perspective on how you should behave as a young man. Then you go to the mountain. From the mountain, you then go through a particular curriculum. When you come back, you are expected to behave positively, act positively at all times, and make sure that you protect and prevent illegal activities that happens against women. And you will also learn the roles and responsibility of a man within a particular society or a family. That on its own doesn't give you the right to say to your mother that I'm from the mountain and now I'm a man. So our interpretation of how life should be as men, sometimes it causes friction between ourselves and women. So we should be careful on what we are doing. Peer pressure also play a part. The type of friends that you associate yourselves with, you should make a conscious decision that I want to be a responsible young man. It starts with you. Love yourself. Respect yourself. And if you do the two to yourself, it's easier to do them to
other people.
Mm.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Malisela. 2 boys are left. And so how much you starting?
Go.
Okay.
I'm thinking of asking a question.
Oh no, the question was, what do you understand by gender-based violence? And if you have a girlfriend, of which I believe you have, how do you deal with your girlfriend? If you find her cheating, how can you respond? And be honest, so that we help you. You understand? And what's your name?
My name is Awande. I'm here. Okay, if I find my partner cheating, I won't fight.
Okay.
I would simply look at myself.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's somewhere like I'm lacking somewhere. If I'm lacking and it's something that I can't change, I would simply leave.
Okay.
But if it's something that I can change, and I love this person, I'll go and fix things. But that's not always the case. Because
Okay.
in most situations I leave.
Oh, okay. Okay. You leave.
Yeah, in most situations I leave.
Okay. Okay.
Just a word of caution. When these kind of issues are discussed, things that makes most of men to be reserved, not to open up. When the other man opens up, trying to share his frustrations and how he deals with issues, we giggle and laugh. Those things, they are some of the elements that creates bottling issues.
Yes.
So when a person is sharing, let's allow him to share whatever he wants to share. Whether it's frustration, whether it's bad or what better or something settling out of line. We should just listen, give a person
A chance.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Amma, thank you very much for those words of the corrective measures. Okay. You said normally in most of situation you leave. So inside you, how you feel? Have you ever felt like hitting someone when you are angry?
When I'm angry, I simply keep quiet. I don't talk too much. And you will see for yourself, Uti, I'm not okay. You will see the way I will act, because I'll start acting up the minute I find out that, or maybe the minute I see that you're with another person. You see. So, yeah.
Okay, before we go on, again, just a word of caution. When you are involved in multiple relations, it creates a dark cloud on top of you. Anyone whom you have sexual intercourse with, remember you are sharing your blood, your sweat, and you are taking pictures, just like the camera that is taking pictures. The pictures of those 10 girlfriends will be embedded in your mind for the rest of your life. But it's up to you, the decisions that you are, or the choices that you are going to make when you want to settle down.
And delete.
You must delete. And the manner to delete is to go through to your parents and say, I'm old enough. I want to settle down. And then I've done be open. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4. They know as elders what is it that needs to be done to cut the line. But
Okay.
it is important to wait for the right moment.
I
It is very
wanted
important.
to ask that question, but I can't ask if they've tapped into something. Andy, so what is in your? You heard the question.
Yes, I have the question. But before I start, I just wanted to ask the old gentleman here, who is to blame, like, for gender-based violence? Just before I start,
Okay.
just to get an understanding,
Okay.
who is to blame for the whole thing of gender-based violence?
We are all
Perpetrators.
We are all perpetrators until proven
Guilty.
Until proven that we are not.
Guilty.
Somehow, somewhere, all of us, we tend to shout at people. When you shout, that's an element of violence. When you howl negative names to a person or dropping names, Sfebe, Hoodkop, Domkop, those are elements of gender-based violence. And the smaller they are, when they build up, because you will be used to do all those things, then you become a fully fledged perpetrator. Then you will be arrested.
In what context also are you asking that question? Who is to be blamed? No, but it's like you want to shift a blame to somebody else now.
No,
I want to understand your mind. What was in your mind as you were asking that question?
No, it's because...
Or being defensive?
No, it's because on this topic of gender-based violence, there's many different, let me just say, answers to the question. So I just wanted to hear from him as somebody who's dealing with these kind of issues. Maybe let me just put it on a daily basis. So that's why I was asking, because on my perspective, I side with him that it comes far back. For me, I feel like it's society to blame, because like he mentioned, we've been living in a society where it's just male dominance. Let me just put it like that. It's just basically male dominance, whereas women don't have a voice for themselves. So that's where I'm coming from. And these kind of behaviors we tend to grow up with, that when I've said this as a man, she doesn't have an option. It has to be the way that I've said it. So that's my understanding of where gender-based violence comes from, because the minute she says no, you get angry. Let me just put it like that. You get angry and you tend to act on her decision. And what we don't understand is that everyone has rights. Everyone has rights. So we should understand that person as the way we would want to be understood. And the question of me, how would I act when a girl cheats on me? I feel like for everyone it's a question where you don't know what you can do until it happens. How would you feel? It all comes with anger management. Let me just put it like that. Being able to control your emotions. And the minute you can't control your emotions, that's when gender-based violence takes place, where you lay a hand on a woman and get arrested. So for me,
another issue to like deal with this issue of gender-based violence is for us as men to deal with our emotions and get rid of this mindset of us as male being more dominant than women. So that's just my perspective of the whole thing. I don't know, because there's many different views to it, so I'm just unsure.
Okay, the blaming element, I think you should do self-introspection first before you can say it's a societal issue. Remember, you are part of the society, but you must play your part as an individual to try and correct the situation.
Yes.
We cannot dwell on past tenses. We are living it now. We must act now. We must take charge of the situation now. So I want us to, as we go on, at least try to try and come up with let's be solution driven, not dwelling much on the actual.
Actually, we want to change that societal perspective, because yes, you are correct. In the old good times, it used to be like that. When the father said something, everybody adhered to what the father said, a patriarchal system. But now we are in a country, or we have moved. That is why, because if you can dwell in the past, which means us as women, we must be housewives and all that. So we've moved from that. Even you must move. And I'm happy that you are at the stage where you are, boys, so that you will know what we are expecting, what the world is expecting from you as men. Which means nowadays, the patriarchal system is not working. Now, like you were saying, 50-50, we are equal, and in my heart, as I was thinking about this program, as we are going to wrap it up now, I was thinking, you know, God gave, but this thing started there when God gave a man physical powers more than a woman. And when you see yourself that you are more powerful in terms of physical appearance or whatever, or you are able to beat me as a woman, God did not give you, which means your body first and foremost is a weapon. Ngoba when we are shire, you can be born at the same time, same age, same year with this woman, with this girl. But when it comes to this, God gave you power in terms of that. But that power is not for you to abuse it, to beat me. The power is for you to protect me. You must love me. Whether not love like the girlfriend love and whatnot, you must know wherever you go, when you see a girl, you are protected to that girl, irrespective. You understand? You are, that power that you have is to protect the girl when somebody harms the girl. When you protect the girl, not when. No, but it doesn't make sense to beat somebody who cannot beat you back. You understand? So for you, what is the use of that? And you beat constantly, repeatedly, you are doing the same thing, but this person doesn't even hit you back. So it proves without no reasonable doubt that you are powerful than her in terms of physical system. But in terms of, no, but if you can go back to the, and also for us as women, Nama can say, Tina, we are more brilliant than men. No, but even in the Garden of Eden, it was Eve, MEC like that, it was Eve who said, let's do this, when a man did not do. We are one women, we are clever. But if you can say you can beat me and I say I'm clever, that's a problem, but it's a joke. But I'm not there. But I'm just saying, Guti, my boys, you must know, as your fist is like this, is to protect a woman against a snake. If there comes a snake, a woman runs away from the snake, you take a wood or a stick, you hit the snake to protect the woman, not for you to beat a woman. That is my submission. And you spoke also about self-control. Yes, self-control, yes, is key. Even biblically, in Galatians 5 verse 22, the Bible says we must focus unto the fruit of the Spirit. It speaks about love, joy, peace, goodness, happiness, gentleness, and self-control. God knew why he contained those words in Galatians, because if you are a person who doesn't have self-control, the Bible says you are a city with fallen walls, which means if you are a city with fallen walls, definitely you can hit this woman, but you will be arrested. Is it what you want to do? Is it what you want to see yourself ending up in jail? Is that what you wanted to see about your life? No. So work on your emotions now. Ngoba, like you said, you can't tell how angry you will be when your girlfriend or your wife will find your wife cheating. You don't know how you will act up until it happens. So start working on those things now. I must not fight, because when I'm fighting, in either way, I'm going to be arrested, maybe life sentence. Is that what you want? Thank you.
In conclusion, on my side, I think the activity of the session, it's a point of departure, and I hope that most parents can have this kind of sessions in their homes, and so that we are having a better society. The things that we want to see happening out there, they should start in our homes, and taking stock of what happened during the day is very key. Every time when you arrive home, you then explain, have a time slot where you sit and explain, I met a girl and I felt interested to this girl, but I'm afraid to approach her. How can I do that? Guys, assist me. It's not about you don't know, but you need a better way of dealing with the challenge that you are facing. So looking at the issue of gender-based violence, we need to tame our toxic actions. What do I mean? The manner in which you communicate with other people, because gender is not about men, it's not about a woman only. Both of us, female and male, we are involved in the act of gender-based violence. But mostly those who are at the receiving end are women. Hence, it seems as if government is looking only for women, after the protection of women, whereas men are also having. It's not a competition. It's not. We should take responsibility as men and ensure that we deal with our toxic actions. And it is your responsibility as young men within this family to make the life of your mother very easy. How do you do that? There are books, there are life skills, how to cope in life. Like the book here that was written by Dr. Johan Broderick. It speaks about Ubuntu. From page 1 to the last page, it gives a person a way on how to deal with particular challenges and also trying to assist to better another person's life. So reading is key. The Constitution, I still remember in 1994, post-1990, we were given booklets. But if I can ask amongst these guys who are sitting here, which one amongst you is having the booklet, your Constitution? How often do you read the Constitution? You will find even no one having that. Even to Google on the cell phone, because we are having smartphones, to Google the Constitution, go to a particular chapter, read, so that you have knowledge of what is expected, what is not expected. Who's having the Constitution? How often do you read it? We are having libraries. you'll find majority of people who are in the libraries are women. It's rare to find a library full of men. So please guys, let's go back to the basics. Let's make the life of the mother very easy. Ensure that we understand the dynamics of life, read books that are talking about life and also trying to come up with solutions. Don't just read any other book, because some they divert how we should relate to each other as human beings. They encourage violence. So it is important you ask first before you act. And Ma'am Vumile, I'm so happy to have spent the few minutes we shared here together, and I hope it's not the first, it's not the last. And I propose or recommend or at some point allow them to talk amongst themselves, because I know for a fact that there are certain things which are too sensitive on the side of men that they cannot disclose. No matter what you say, they will never disclose.
I know. Okay.
So I hope at some point there will be a time where they will sit alone and talk amongst themselves and try to correct themselves and capture that moment.
Actually, they do. These ones they do, but anyway, thank you very much, Ntate Malisela. God bless you, God bless you, God bless you. And in Ntate Malisela, like I indicated earlier on, this is not about these boys. It's about the community at large. It's only that I wanted to test waters here. So then I will call maybe for some other slots, because this is the age where there is no victim, there is no perpetrator on this age. I'm going to find another groups of the level 2, and the level 3, it's gonna be those that are married now. Ganjalo. Because I want us, if I can do it here, the other parent can do it somewhere. Let us fight. Government is doing something, is doing a lot, but the way things are happening, it looks like government is not doing anything, of which government is doing a lot. We know, but let us assist, let us contribute. I'm going even to bring pastors to talk about this, but even pastors are perpetrators, people whom we believe they must protect us spiritually when we are being perpetrated by people out there who are victims. Now they are perpetrators. So what is happening? Let us talk about these things. Actually, this is my reality show, if I may put it that way. Let us stop this thing. Let us try to love one another on earth in Jesus' name. Amen. I think you are fun. Yay! Thank you, boys. Thank you, boys. Thank you. We are done for our session. Next week, we're going to do the female ones. I've got a guest speaker for females now. Yes. So I want to continue.